Every time someone mentions a Chinese EV, the first question is always the same. Not the official range, the real-world number. Because the gap between the official claim and the road result is where most of these cars lose the argument. The MGS5 returned 401 kilometers in independent mixed European road testing. The official WLTP claim is 480, 12% below the figure. The only electric family car in Europe with a smaller real-world gap is the Tesla Model Y. That number changes how everything else about this car reads. The design question MG had to answer was whether the MG4's eccentric, slightly toy-like styling translated upward to a larger car. It doesn't, and they knew it. The S5 is calmer. Cyberster-inspired LED daytime running lights sit above the actual headlights, which are housed lower in the bumper. Smooth surfaces, sculpted door pressings, a roofline that tapers without committing to a full fastback. In Piccadilly Blue, the chrome window trim settles into the body color, rather than competing with it. I went looking for where MG saved the money, because at this price and this brand, there is always somewhere. The lower door cards are where I found it. Everything above that line landed above what MG has delivered before. Soft touch materials across the full dashboard, chunky satin chrome window switches with a haptic weight that signals intent rather than cost-cutting. The 12.8-inch touchscreen runs wireless Apple CarPlay, which the MG4 somehow never managed without a cable. Full electric seat adjustment on the luxury trim, a heated steering wheel, ambient lighting that reads as a design decision rather than a spec sheet checkbox. Rear passengers have a proper center armrest and legroom that stays comfortable past the first hour. What I kept reaching for and couldn't find was lumbar support. This trim doesn't include it. You notice it after the second hour on a longer run. For everything else this interior delivers at this price, I'd make that trade. But I'm not going to pretend it isn't there. The boot figures are where the spec comparison against the Elroq gets complicated, before the range numbers make it simple again. 453 liters. The Skoda Elroq gets slightly more on paper. The floor adjusts, the shape is a proper square, and recesses either side stop smaller items migrating on every corner. The rear seats fold 60 to 40 and don't drop flat easily from the boot end. There is no frunk. MG put the investment elsewhere, a 7-year comprehensive warranty covering the entire car. If the choice is between a front storage compartment and a 7-year safety net, most buyers make the same call. The 401-kilometer real-world result is the number that closes that argument. 480 kilometers official WLTP. 401 kilometers returned in real mixed-road European testing. 12% below the claim. That sounds unremarkable until you compare it with every rival in this segment, where 15 to 20% below the official figure is the standard outcome, the important qualifier. At sustained motorway speeds, the gap widens. Autocar's longer distance test returned closer to 330 kilometers at motorway pace. That is the honest story. In city and mixed driving, this car is extraordinary for its class. On a long motorway run, it is competitive but not exceptional. 139 kilowatts peak DC charging, 10 to 80% in 28 minutes. You pull in, you order a coffee, you sit down. By the time you've finished, the car is ready before you are. 38,814 euros, with the Brussels Salon discount applied. The Kia EV3 long range costs more in comparable European trim. The Renault Scenic long range costs more. The Skoda Elroq at comparable range costs more. What those rivals bring in return is established dealer networks, stronger resale curves in most markets, and a badge that carries less of a question mark. Those are real advantages, not nothing. What they do not bring is a better interior at this price, faster charging at this spec level, or a 7-year warranty. Whether the badge gap is worth the price gap is the decision you make. Top Gear called this car soulless competence. After this walk-around, I've been trying to decide whether that's a criticism or a description of exactly what most families need from a car. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. Leave a comment below with your thoughts or questions. I read every single one. And don't forget to click the bell icon to get notified about my next upload. See you in the next video.